mean, I get bashed almost.
Wake up, preachers. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, y'all. And I'm your brother, John.
And this is Kiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That?
See That.
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in to help us to redefine what's cool. What's good, y'all?
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Motivational Monday. An opportunity to serve.
Money Monday.
Yep, Money Monday. I like that. I take it.
To make a move.
I take Money Monday. Black men uniting, black men coming together, man.
We almost there.
Yeah, we almost there. No, we there. We getting there.
Oh,
yeah.
I was talking about the march.
Oh, okay. The march is Saturday. Yeah, the march is the victory. But yeah, we got brothers getting together, man. Had a great meeting, conversation with some brothers. Really, this whole weekend, huh, Mr. Edmund?
Yes. It's been a powerful weekend. All together.
Yeah.
All together.
Yeah, real talk, man. Real talk. And we got the Florida's back to school sales tax holiday is actually starting today.
Okay.
Make sure y'all get them churn what they need.
Please and thank you. All right, so
But there will be some giveaways going on.
It was a giveaway Saturday.
no, it's a lot of them. We can spread it around here. So kind of
we got a list of
we
giveaways.
got a list of giveaways and things that we're going to be talking about.
And we're gonna talk about it. So stick around and stick and stay.
Yeah, y'all stick and stay. I look, I'm gonna spread it around a little bit, Mr. Edmund. You want one of these giveaways?
Not really.
Yes, sir, but you're gonna get one though.
See why you gonna ask me? See why you gonna ask me?
It's the illusion of choice. Right?
That's right. Waiting on me to say, all right.
It's the illusion of choice, man. Good morning. I see you, Renee. Thank you for tuning in. Sister Sierra.
Man, big shouts out to Renee, man.
Yeah. Really killing
I
the
seen
game.
Renee this weekend. Big shouts out to the Saturday morning market.
Okay, yeah.
On all y'all success.
Oh, and
Yes.
she wins totally, huh?
She wins.
Man.
Because she never gives up.
That's where I seen that. She was on
modeling that she wins totally. Okay, that's what's up.
Big shout out to Kiana Rucker.
Yeah,
And the whole team.
Yeah, man, she really
Yes.
did her thing from what I was seeing.
Listen, man, the Manhattan Casino probably has never seen such black excellence before.
Say that again.
The Manhattan Casino may have never seen this type of black excellence before.
That's
I
amazing.
love
brother.
it.
That's amazing. That's
That
really
local black excellence.
it's a beautiful thing, man. Really a beautiful thing. And what else is good?
Urban Drinkery. Big shouts out to Urban Drinkery. Elements of hip hop. Power Plug Radio. Y'all did y'all thank you as well.
Yeah.
It's been a real power pack weekend for the 22nd quarter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The Deuces is like really.
Well,
the Renaissance.
This is where you want to be. Like if you haven't been to the Deuces yet, I don't know where you at. Like honestly, like no, because when you're looking at something that's positive and giving you a good vibe, you can say you're saved. Like you really need somewhere good to hang out.
Yeah.
This is at like I know everybody talk about like 16th Street and all that other stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I mean, y'all doing whatever y'all do
Black
over
Wall
there.
Street, yeah.
Big shouts out to y'all.
Right. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for just around the corner, a different vibe.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
Just
Just
around
the corner, a different vibe, something grown and sexy where you could just kind of chill. Listen, 16th Street do what it do.
It gonna do what it do.
It's gonna do what it do. But if you want to just sip on some good wine, listen to some good music, have a meeting outside.
Yeah.
You know what
right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Go over there. All this is black owned too. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said it.
Okay.
Okay, but just say it again because
it's all black owned
for the people in the back.
So I remember a few years ago we had something called the St. Pete Renaissance.
Yes, sir.
On the St. Pete Renaissance playing. Big shouts out to Carla Bristol, everybody who was helping put that together.
Yeah.
We used to meet at St. Pete College. Y'all used to come to the meeting sometime.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is we're living through that Renaissance we were planning back then.
Right.
How about that? So it was intentional then.
Just watch me roll.
Yeah, it was intentional. Absolutely was intentional. So today is July 25th.
Okay.
And it marks the 206th day of the Gregorian calendar. 206 days in the Gregory calendar. Whole nother conversation for another time. In 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte defeated the Ottomans. In 1952, Puerto Rico joined the U.S. as a self-governing commonwealth. And in 1999, Lance Armstrong became the second American to win the Tour de France. Walter Payton and Matt LeBlanc were born on this day. It's also National Wine and Cheese Day and National Hot Dog Sunday Day. Are celebrated. Wait, Hot Fudge Sunday. Pardon me. National Hot Fudge Sunday Day is celebrated on the 25th. Though.
So when we gonna have a National Black Excellence Day?
Every day.
Or National Black Excellence Weekend.
How about every day?
Or National Black Excellence. Oh,
Kiana?
You know, my wheels start to turn when you throw names out there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, maybe a whole month.
Yeah. National Black Excellence Month.
Isn't that
Come on. We got an expo, so maybe.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't be knocking
There
on
we
my door
go.
like that. I ain't.
Just come on in.
Well, whoever's knocking is at the wrong door.
Okay, got it. But yeah, because we left the door open. We said come around the back, but it's all good. It happened like that sometime. It bees like that sometime. What you got in front of you? We got a back to school giveaway we want to announce.
So listen, we have some back to school giveaway supplies, back to school backpacks giveaway. Saturday.
Okay.
August 6th from 12 to 4 p.m. World Outreach Ministries.
Okay.
Christian Center. It's at 5001 Park Boulevard North.
Okay.
Pinellas Park. 500 book bags and school supplies.
Okay.
It'll be food, games, music. It looks like Walmart, Publix, Sam Club, Target.
Okay.
Did the sponsorship over there.
Okay.
We have another one on August 7th. So listen, the 6th you got one, the 7th you have one, right?
Yep.
This one is on 22nd Avenue South at Trinity Church.
Okay.
This back to school service will give away haircuts,
Okay.
hairstyles, school supplies, backpacks, uniforms, clothes, shoes, hygiene products, and etc. All right.
I like that list.
Mhm.
So just yes. This is Consuela and Dallas, right?
Oh
Yep.
man,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're going out, they put this
Dallas.
together. So yes, you know, and if you have any interest in being a vendor, contact Consuela or Alan. 727-436-6145.
Hold on, say that number one more time.
727-463-6145.
Okay.
All right. Get them
All right.
supplies, man. Take them babies.
Go ahead. I was about to do it for you.
You got one? You got one? Hold on to it. Just keep it in
Okay,
the
big
queue.
shouts out to the Junior League, St. Pete, who will be having the back to school care fair Saturday, July 30th at 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Johnny Ruth Clark on 22nd Street South. And they will have backpacks, they will have dental, they will have community partner information, and it will be a street fair on the 30th. So that's going to be about
Every
the same time as the Black Man March.
Okay.
The 100-man march, and we'll probably march right through that site.
Oh yeah, we walking by there.
We're gonna come right through there.
Yeah,
Well,
we
actually,
walking by
it's earlier because this started at 8 o'clock
That's
in the
what
morning.
time we start.
Oh, y'all starting at 8 this morning? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So
So it'll
All
take
right.
about 30, 40 minutes to get there.
All right.
Yeah. he waiting on me to say something about that fact.
So no. So let me tell you. So the 100-man march, the Black 100-man.
in between 2 minutes and 45, right? The 100 plus black men. Go ahead.
Right. The first year, I remember we're out there, we're getting ready. Brother John come in with his bicycle. He got like all these cameras.
Oh yeah,
like
we was
he had
ready.
it on his head. He was so ready. I was like, okay.
I know history when I see it.
I love it.
I know when we making history and doing stuff that we're gonna want to remember.
I'm excited about Saturday. I'm always
I am
excited
too.
about the
Yeah.
unification of black men and just our
Victory.
community.
Victory.
Victory.
Oh,
March.
the victory march. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if y'all want to join us, we'll be at Shell's gas station starting at 8 a.m. on July 30th.
And they asking for everybody to come out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean you can come with your children. Women is invited. Y'all can drive. Y'all can support. Y'all can walk
Where y'all walking to?
to 22nd to the Deuces.
to the Deuces.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna walk from
Down.
18th Avenue to 22nd, the 9th Avenue corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is a good walk because they used to walk all the way to Botley Park.
You say all the way to
All
Botley
the
Park.
way.
all the way.
All the way to Botley Park.
We might bring that back next year.
Yeah, the Botley stroll.
Yeah,
It
but
was-
it's real.
It was
nice.
really linking communities. You know, you coming from Trefo
Mhm.
all the way down 9 and whatever, you know, so it's like
And then
symbolic.
people do jump in, so that's
They
the
jump
beauty
in and
of it.
stop and out holler at y'all and going back.
Right, and then some people figure out where the ending is, and they be there at the end.
That's me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's me.
That's why I was on the bicycle.
That's and then you'll see everybody like on the side giving out water.
Yeah, that's
it's
real.
like a real marathon. Like
Yeah.
when you out there, you
Yeah.
seeing it, but it's a beautiful thing. So if you're not doing anything on Saturday, or if you was doing something on Saturday, later on, get up a little early and join
That's
this.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
You
real
know,
talk.
let's show them how this looks.
Yeah,
Black
real talk.
Exorcism.
And it's Saturday the 30th. Brother Kendrick is asking what's the date again. So it's this Saturday, July 30th at 8 a.m.
at Shell gas station on 34th Street, and we're gonna walk to 22nd
Mhm.
Street South.
and have a celebration. We're gonna meet up with the Healing While Black
Yep,
team.
and then they're gonna have this here at the Johnny Roof Clark. This all
Right
going
down
on
the
at the
street.
same time. This ain't competition. This is collaboration.
Right.
Believe that. Speaking of collaboration, we got with us a special guest in the building.
Hey y'all.
Brandy Dorcin, what's good? What's good?
My fellow mermaid.
I
Yeah.
know, right? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome.
Thank
What's up with
you.
these mermaids, man? I'm surrounded by mermaids.
So Drowning Prevention Day is also held on July 25th every year.
Mhm.
And it's a means for raising awareness of the catastrophic and long-term effects of drowning on families and communities, as well as life-saving ways to prevent it. So every year, they said, an estimated 236,000 individuals drown.
Mhm.
And it is one of the top 10 fatalities of kids aged 5 to 14.
Oh.
And so to talk about drowning prevention and also just catch up and check in with the water
Yeah,
boss.
I know.
Water boss coming in. And,
Ooh, Lord.
let's talk
It's
about
been a
what
long time.
it has
coming.
been. What you been up to?
You know, it's summertime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
The pool is popping.
The pool is popping.
Popping.
The pool is popping.
Better act
You
like
know, the weather hasn't been good to us though.
Yeah, they've been off and on.
These evening showers. So
It's been off
Friday
and on.
Friday night done right.
I think we only had one.
No, we had
One
about 2 or 3.
Successful that they got in the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
gave away
'cause
them
y'all know,
pieces.
'cause y'all been out there. Yeah, y'all been out there. Yes.
Yeah. No,
but
but
the
you're
kids
right.
haven't.
Correct.
I think
Maybe one.
one
Really?
that they were able to get in the water.
Because the lightning, of course.
Man, it's not.
Yeah.
We
Water.
been able to feed them still though.
Yeah.
Look, you
Yeah.
gonna keep saying
So
that.
no.
They been able to keep that
So
piece
let
though.
me say that I appreciate you all because you all have fed them.
Yeah.
You all have clothed them.
Thank you.
You all have provided bathing suits,
Yeah.
Good
towels,
To God be the glory. Yeah.
goggles, all those things. You'll be surprised about the kids coming in there with jeans on
yeah.
and
Yeah.
sweatpants and
I learned about that doing this.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know nothing about that, but
I did.
they get in with the jeans on,
No, 'cause that's how I used to come though.
with the jeans cut off, the
Man.
pants. They
Man,
ain't
I
coming
had some
up
cut
with
off shorts.
they're not even cut off.
They just got whole jeans, a
whole
whole pair of
jeans, whole sweatpants.
Well, they wearing these hoodies in the summer, so
Oh, man, they killing me.
whole sweatpants.
Sweatpants.
What
no-
you here to do? Get in the water.
Yeah.
Right. You going
Yeah.
to change?
Yeah.
No, this is
No,
it. This is what
yeah.
no, this
So I appreciate you all. The kids from the summer camp have been able to
nice.
also benefit from
Mhm.
the swimsuits and,
Good.
and
That's
the
good.
towels. And
You need some more?
Look at them.
well, let's prepare for next year.
Okay.
I want to tell you,
prepare
thank
for
you
next year.
for your work.
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely.
Good job.
So I want to say I think that everybody in the state of Florida, it should be mandatory that you learn how to swim.
I don't know about mandatory, but
I
I'm with,
think
I'm
so.
with
we ain't okay with mandatory.
So
here.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
and you know what? Let me tell you,
We're a freedom of choice organization here.
Let me tell you, I'm
Ain't no
pro-choice.
mandatory nothing.
Y'all know what? Y'all know I'm very pro-choice.
Yeah, that's why. What is you saying right
But
now?
I'm gonna say this is because we're surrounded around water so much
Yeah.
that it really this is no medicine put in your body that that's foreign. This is
A life-saving technique.
right. This is something. This is a skill
life-saving technique. I like
that
yeah.
you should learn. Like you know how like when you go to school, you need to learn your ABCs.
Should be part of the PE curriculum.
Okay,
It
there you
should.
go. I'm with
Okay,
you
now
on
let's
that.
operationalize it.
Yeah, now
So,
let's
but-
talk
okay,
about
there
it.
you go.
But
Let's-
it is. So Bay Vista Elementary does it.
Okay.
Okay.
John Hopkins does it. Northwest Elementary does it.
Mm.
So
Swimming classes
yeah,
during
so
PE?
during PE, so they have a
Nice.
curriculum. So for instance, Bay Vista at the end of the year, the last 2 weeks,
Mhm.
they let their classes go. That's their PE for 2 weeks. Is the classes is only 5, and it's not 100% swim lessons, but they get that opportunity to get in the water,
A little
learn
swimming
some
experience.
things, right? But if you think about it, all schools have a pool that is around them.
Right.
Yes.
And it can be just as easy as adding, because there is actually a swim curriculum,
Okay.
right? So it can be added into the last part of your year or the beginning. So John Hopkins does it at the beginning.
Okay.
So that's great. And I know some of the daycares participate in bringing their babies.
Right.
And so it can be the norm. You know,
I think
Yeah.
it should be a part of the norm.
Yeah,
it
but not
can be.
mandatory.
Let's normalize swimming.
Let's normalize swimming lessons, and I think that's a myth too, right? That black people don't swim. Is that real?
Listen, 2 mermaids surround me right now.
We got
I'm
two
just
mermaids.
saying.
We got two
Here's the-
mermaids.
Melanated mermaids.
We think because we could get in the water and we could go from here to here
Yeah.
That we can
that
swim.
we
From
can
this
swim.
side of the wall to the other side.
Right. And half the time when the camps come and the kids come and they like, I can swim, and you do that swim test and you be like, I thought you could swim, and they be like, and parents are the worst with that too.
With saying that their children
My
can
baby
swim.
can swim.
It's annoying because they always want them to go off the slide,
Okay.
but they don't understand that slide is throwing them down
Yeah.
and they're not on their feet.
Yeah, you got to
Uh-huh.
recover.
Yeah. And then
You got to
they
be a little
doggy
experience.
paddling.
Yeah, you got to be a little
And somebody
experience.
touch you and you gonna fall over. You're not gonna be able to get up, and they don't think about that. All the kids in the pool, and
Yeah.
somebody want to horseplay with you, and
it's deep right there. So like when you're
You know what I didn't
sliding,
think
even
about
though
that.
you're going down, they're small, so they're not touching the bottom where they can push off and go back up.
No,
You
when
know?
I was little, I used to touch the bottom.
but you know people that's scared, they don't want to go to
Yeah,
Right.
no.
They don't want to go to the
That's why they fighting. That's why they
try their best
they
not to
beat,
go to
they
the
beating up
bottom.
the water. To
So I'm
stay
gonna
out of the
change
bottom.
what I said mandatory, but I think that it
Thank
should be
you.
a part of the curriculum. But I think everybody here in the state of Florida should know how to swim.
Yeah, I agree. It should be a part of the curriculum. I went to summer camp at Campbell Park, and so we had the pool, the high dive, and it was kind of a cultural thing to swim. You need to bust a can opener or something
Right.
to be down.
Right.
I don't
It
remember
was cool.
never not
Yeah, it was cool.
going to swimming lessons, and I've always known how to swim.
So that is a myth then.
My family, listen, to this day, my family still take all the kids
To
to
swim,
swimming
yeah.
lessons.
Yeah.
You, Coach Lynn,
Yeah. That's right.
Somebody need to call in and let me know, is black people not swimming a myth?
it is.
What you put in there?
It is.
It
I see
is.
some. I see some stuff in the chat. Mike Jeffers, thank you for tuning in, man.
Mike
Hey
J.
Mike, hey
Mike
friend.
Coming back to you, baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna push the limits, baby.
Yeah, we do
We
push
pushing the limits,
We
baby.
do
Come
be
on.
pushing the limits. So says that's cause she swim like Michael Phelps, but I'm taking lessons now. Right?
No, 'cause let me. So Shayna went with me to LA Fitness because she is a workout guru, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Shayna
know
work
that.
out all the time. She's big on health, and then when I was big on going to the gym all the time, Shayna was like, "Yo, I'll go with you." I was like, "Okay." Like I'm always game. We went. She was like, "Yeah, I didn't know I was swimming with Michael."
Yeah.
Oh, so you do laps?
I do laps.
Like,
I really want to go. I want to go
You
with
can
you
go
one
with-
day.
You can go
See,
with
then
me.
we just had that conversation
We
about
did.
the doggy paddling. So you gonna doggy paddle the whole way?
You gonna
But
stroke it
I'm
out?
finna tell you, she held her own though.
Okay.
She did. Listen,
Okay.
she didn't stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
She started to incorporate her own workout there, which was good.
Yeah.
Because you do what you do, you know what I mean? But see, I know that me doing her workout, I'll be like the fish out of water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
get
Yeah.
you.
You
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
what I
cool,
mean?
yeah.
Like I can't, I couldn't keep up with her.
So she can't keep up with you.
Right, because
It's
it's
only fair.
different
Yeah,
things.
right,
You know what I
different
mean?
thing.
So like I admire what she do because I can't really do that. Or I'm not trained enough to do that. You know what I mean?
Not yet. We're gonna get
Not
you
yet. I can get, but yeah. So anything with working out, I'm gonna tell you, the key is finding what works for you.
there. And consistency.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you
Gotta
find
keep
what
going.
you like, and then you will then be motivated to go and do the workout.
That's what's up. That's
Just
what's up.
FYI, just a Kiana theory.
And some of the water safety tips, like just because I know, it's again Drowning Prevention Day, so it's like water
Yeah.
safety is kind of on the top of mind
Big-
for some people who pay attention to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Got to, though.
And so what are some like basic things for water safety that we need to be mindful of?
Just teaching our kids, don't go to the water without adults around.
Yeah.
One of the big things that I also teach my kids is how to use items that are around you.
Okay.
You don't always have that big red tube that you see
Mhm.
the lifeguards having.
Right.
Take off your shirt,
Okay.
take off your pants. call mommy,
Take your
help.
pants, take them
Yes,
jeans off that you got in there with.
grab anything that is around you to help your friend, but don't go in yourself, because I call it the spider monkey theory.
Wow.
Okay.
Where, as in someone like a swimmer, even in an experienced
Like
swimmer,
me, experienced
right?
swimmer,
You think you're
like
going
me.
in to save somebody, and all they
That's
want to
me
do
now.
is stay on top of the water. So they gonna climb on the top of your
Ooh,
head,
and
if
they'll
they
pull
have
you
to.
down. I learned that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So my training coming back. So I was listen. I was
Jamal.
lifeguard certified. I had my CPR.
Yeah.
I was going to do underwater welding,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But
You gotta know how to
hold
swim to
on.
do that.
So what's up? You want to work?
no.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
Okay.
Offer
Keep
him the
going.
job again.
Okay.
Maybe he might say it.
I like jobs though.
Okay.
But
Listen, he likes them.
I like jobs.
I like what come from them. But
Yeah.
Okay. So someone pulled you down.
no, what we did was we learned about trying to help save somebody.
Okay.
And that's when I learned that they will pull you down.
Mhm.
You have to protect yourself as you're trying to help them.
Right.
Mhm.
Because they're not aware as you are. And that's a
Mhm.
part of also the training of being always aware.
Mhm.
Pulling them out. I can save a life now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I pull them out, pump them
Okay.
up.
That idea sounds good.
They say you don't do mouth to mouth no more. See, you used to be like,
And our water
So
boss
what
is
you
a
doing
certified
then? You just
CPR, right?
Yeah.
That's another one of the things that you do
right
too,
under
right?
the breast or the thing right there. Listen, I done
You,
saved the life.
you don't want any breath?
No.
Oh, okay. Give me a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit of breath. I need a little oxygen.
You need some.
Yeah,
You need some.
yeah.
We want to keep the heart going.
Look,
Yes,
wait,
but we
put
do
some
need
oxygen on my
Give me a
compression.
little bit.
We-
Give me a little bit. Don't have me down though.
No,
without
but
no
I
oxygen.
will say though, if you are afraid, then yes, to do that, because something is better than
Than
nothing,
Mhm.
right?
Compression.
Something. And you
Yeah,
have the
see?
vocabulary.
Listen.
Okay.
The people cheated me, but we'll talk about that on another show.
Okay,
No,
gotcha. But you do CPR
but,
too, right? That's
yeah,
one
I
of the
do.
things.
Yeah, you gotta
CPR,
do that, yeah.
first aid, AD training. This year, something good that the city did was provide junior lifeguard lessons,
Okay.
and then they also incorporated the lifeguard class.
Okay.
Oh,
With
that's nice.
that, right?
So y'all got it
So
all in
if
one.
so in it gave an opportunity for so many more kids to be able to gain that that certification, and it's really all about the prevention and just being safe.
Right.
Just knowing what to do when you go to the beach with your kids, telling them, okay, if you can't stand, be careful, because the sand may slide, even putting on sunscreen. Let me talk about that.
Okay,
Because we
sunscreen.
think we don't have to put on sunscreen because it is melanin.
All the melanin. Yeah, we got
Melanin.
we got melanin.
Right.
Yeah. So that's not true, either?
Oh, I had a burnt forehead at the beginning of the summer. I looked like a whole.
I remember I got sunburnt.
Yeah.
I done got sunburned too. I done peeled. I done peeled.
Oh,
Yeah, I got sunburnt.
So we are throwing all preconception notions out the window today.
Out of the window, absolutely.
Black people swim and get sunburned.
Yes.
Mike Jeffrey said it's a total myth talking about black people not swimming.
Oh, yeah.
He agrees.
Yeah, it's and
Yeah, it is a myth though.
you do need sunscreen. My guards we put on sunscreen.
Wow.
And I guess you out there though.
So what HPF y'all putting on?
You ain't just in and out, right?
Well, we do like 50, 70. We just learned that there's 100.
Yeah, that's what
HPF.
Yeah.
It's 120.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
See, I don't know nothing about that because
That's
I
for the
don't
people
do
that
it.
burn.
Yeah, I only did it.
Put on every 2 hours if you can. So the same thing. It's it's just not for one culture.
No, it's not. It's
honestly.
Right. That's right. That's what we're really talking about. Because I'm gonna tell you, I want to talk about the career options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So if I come get my training, say I get my you say y'all do the 2 at 1.
Yeah.
What kind of opportunities that open up for a person?
Absolutely. So listen, do you know I started this when I was 15?
No, I didn't. I didn't know until I came to the pool
in 2016. Yeah,
and we were trying to get the pool open.
Right. That's my cousin over there.
So when I was 15, I started when I was 15, and then I had my son in the crazy thing about that, and I was pregnant. I had a big blue bathing suit on and a big belly, and people were like, "Why you don't have clothes on?" Well, I'm at the pool, so you know what you see when you're at the pool.
Yeah.
But if I would have gone to work the next day, I would have gone into labor in the pool. My water broke, and I would have been at work, and I would not have known. Yeah.
Oh, your water break in the water.
Right.
So you don't know.
I didn't. I didn't because I literally worked up until the day of.
Yeah.
And then obviously I was like, oh, I'm an adult now. Let me get a real job. And then when I started teaching, I'm like, okay, I'm going back, and I'm back.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
That's what I see. I see a lot of youth like it seems like you start young. Like that's kind of the Jet Jackson
Most
story,
people
right?
just kind of stay.
You stay.
Well, that's
you
like
do.
Jet started at the pool, right? And he did 50 years with the city,
But
starting
think
through the
about
pools. Yeah.
Some of my lifeguards go off to college.
Come back.
Yeah.
That's a great job wherever you go in college,
Right.
right?
Right.
Being a lifeguard, even those life-saving techniques, the CPR, first aid is useful. I've used it at school. I have to put on my hat.
Right.
I've used it at the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
at the department store. Somebody fell out in Burlington and nobody took action, and I'm like, we have a duty to act.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to get on it.
Your training come in.
Your training comes in, and
It
it
really do.
stays with you forever. And I think people should, especially when you have kids, right, get CPR certified. And actually, that's something that I'm thinking about
Doing at the pool.
No, well, actually, year round,
Teaching?
if I can provide CPR, first aid, and AED classes, because I am trained.
Oh, that sounds like
to teach
that sounds like a business,
right?
It sounds like
It's a
sound like an LLC.
spin-off,
It
right?
sounds like an LLC.
And if I had to name it, I would name it Water Boss
That part.
LLC.
But no,
It's
I
a
would name
piece.
it.
It's a piece. It's under the umbrella of the water.
I would name it Water Boss.
I have a family of dummies.
Okay.
I do. I'm so happy I bought them last year.
Yeah, and they're useful. Yeah.
And I do.
That's what I learned though. I learned on the
I
dummy.
have the AEDs. I have all of
Wait,
that.
hold on. Let me back up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, when she said I have a family of dummies,
Yeah, he thought.
it kind of hit me like, okay.
But no, she really got physical dummies.
Like dummies.
I do.
Do like different
CPR
sizes.
Yeah.
Right?
I do.
But I think that'd be a good idea because, like I said, I know it's a career option. That's why I took it.
Mm-hmm.
I took it as a career option, so I had to learn all that stuff before I can get certified to learn something else.
We have a Facebook user that says, I need AED training and AED and
Look,
CPR training.
Let's connect.
Oh, all right.
So we got some clients coming in. Yeah.
Well, tell her she could go to
It's
Water
actually a
Boss.
he.
Oh, he okay. On the Water Boss, and send me an email in my messages, and we can put that together. But you know what? This is what I'm gonna do, Brother John.
Okay.
Bar.
Let's go. Go.
I need y'all to find a
That's the
building.
family bar. There.
It sounds like breaking news. Like you about to hear it here
we
first.
need to find a building. Let's do that.
Okay.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Wait.
Hold
You
on.
know who?
We got a building.
You know who
It's
sit
just
here?
who we wanna use.
Somebody sit. We have a lot of buildings. Right?
Okay.
Somebody that sits next to me.
Okay.
And I think he's your cousin. I think he has a building too.
Ooh.
Or two.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
Okay.
space.
I
But
am.
no, so we
Let's
gotta
do that.
really figure it out.
If
because
space is what we need, we got space.
We don't need to figure out anything. We just need to get it on and popping and advertise it.
There you go.
let's-
It's already
let's-
figured out. We
let's
just-
do that.
Bars.
We got
now
space.
the mic has just dropped.
No, that's the beautiful thing about like when you got superpowers and you can connect with superheroes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's like, okay, I need space. Well, we got
That's all I need.
that's one of our superpowers is
That's
finding space.
right.
Creating
So if
space.
we're talking about the prevention,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
giving something to the community, asking you shall receive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do that.
This feel like economic development. This feel like life skills training. I'm just figuring out the departments.
How you go? Okay, but
Economic development because I can go get a job once I get this training.
So that's workforce. Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
see
You
what
could
you
get
did.
recertified
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
on your
I see
job.
what it took me a second to
I'm
grab it.
CPR.
but
I
see
can
what you
get
did there.
more money at my job once I come in with certain certifications.
Yes.
That's
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
Swim with me now.
Real life.
You on the
superhero.
deep end.
And somebody I see, and it's not showing me the names, but it says I need that for my industry as well.
See?
Mama,
That's Kendrick.
okay, but Kendrick.
Yes.
Mama Blue said, "Let's go. My grandsons need to be prepared to help their mom
Yes.
who has health issues." That
Yes. So true.
Yes.
You never
Those
know.
babies too.
yeah,
It'll save your life.
those babies. I am y'all got me excited over here.
I'm excited too.
That's
We
what
ready
it
to
is.
work.
That's how it happens.
Let's do that.
That's really how it happens.
Yeah.
And so just thinking about like the CPR training, the AED. Tell me a little bit more about the AED.
And what does it stand for?
Like what is AED?
That's your
training?
automatic defibrillator. So
that's the thing. I was going to
yes,
ask you about that.
you know, that's what you see when they are
You in big trouble when you will have to pull that out.
You know,
kinda,
well,
sorta.
it's the most effective. You
The
know,
AED?
to get, yes. So
Okay.
if you
I
have
didn't
it
get
around,
that training. I missed that class.
well, let me tell you the beauty about the AED is it tells you what to do.
Oh, when we put it on.
Yeah, you put it on,
Put
it on,
Okay.
cut it on, and it tells you exactly what to do on the AED, on the pads. It tells you where to place them, and it literally tells you.
It walks you through every step. You know, that in conjunction with your CPR, you know, that's the best chance to give someone life.
You can bring them back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, until professional help gets there. If there's one in the building, you know, just don't be afraid.
Okay.
That's the main thing I learned.
Don't
be afraid.
Don't get out your fear.
Don't be scared.
Because when you scared, time is just flying, but it's not that much time.
Yeah.
You only got like 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
To kind of get somebody back up.
No, but we laughing. But I know you have a real. We're on the radio too. Oh. But I know, no, and I'm saying, and I know you serious because I know, like we talk, like you really like we joking and laughing, but he's actually performed CPR. And
in the hood.
So how did that feel? Did that so it can be life altering, and it is fearful, and how you just have to act, right? How did that feel?
It was crazy because it was a lot of people out there, and it was like nurses, it was like people in the industry, but they were panicking.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying? So it was like real clutch. It was like, and I'm like, damn, get out of here.
Yeah,
what's going on? You know, in the hood, you ain't trying to stick around when bodies laying around,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
People laid out,
and it just was like, go 1, 2, 3.
So your training kicked in.
Get on your knees.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Your training kicked in. You did compressions, or you did?
Yeah, I did mouth to mouth and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's what's up, and saved a life. So thank you, Mr. Edmund. Look, somebody alive because of Mr. Edmund right here, right now. But I wanted to say that because I know we joke and we talk.
No, it's dead serious.
But would you rather have broken ribs?
Yep.
Right, or your life?
Yeah. And see, that's what I was trying not to do because it was a child, and I was trying not to. Know what I'm saying? Because it's for real.
That's where that class comes
your
in.
Adrenaline pumping, and it's like for real.
Yeah.
For real, do it again.
Yeah.
You know and then once you start, you can't stop. Like that's one of the things I heard. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm just
you're supposed to keep going until like a ambulance or somebody comes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what I did. I did it to the ambulance.
Or what else?
Or until they
until signs of life.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
Let me think.
Keep going.
Till you exhausted.
Right. Come on in, Miss Theresa. We got a spot over here on the side. Good morning.
Until it's unsafe. Right?
Until it's unsafe. Until signs of life.
Signs of life.
Okay, so once you start,
listen, I was
giving.
Is
it like on TV? We start coughing.
Listen, for real, I was giving mouth to mouth, right? And then the baby blew breath back into my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like woke me up because I was like in the train.
Right.
Like, oh, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the ambulance, they like, come on, we got it from here.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, see, I mean, and that's the thing with the skills and having them and knowing what to do in the moment.
That training is very important.
Because I remember my daughter was choking on a balloon, and I just kept yelling, "Do the thing, do the thing, somebody do the thing, somebody do the thing." And my wife was like, "Nope." She did what they call a sweep. See, I ain't know nothing about a sweep. I ain't know nothing about a sweep.
Yes,
my wife did a finger sweep. You know what I mean? And that was the end of that.
That's the training, boy.
I'm like panicking. Do the thing. So wrong. Do the thing.
What thing were you talking about? What thing was you talking about? The Heimlich. The thing. I think I had a trainer on that too.
It's all included. You know, it's all included.
I'm telling you,
the CPR and the first aid and the
bring them back.
Yeah.
It's all.
Don't fall down in front of me.
But we do honestly we do need to make this a neighborhood thing.
No, that's real though.
We do.
Even for your kids when they're with their friends and something happens, like they said, if it's an adult that may need help,
right?
all those, like you said, we're laughing and joking about it, but it's
serious.
It
really
really is. Yeah.
it's really serious. And then it's just something that's minute. Have you all ever seen the paramedics run to a scene?
What you mean, like run to the scene with the thing and stuff? I
Yeah.
think I have. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
They always kind of take their
They
time.
kind of take their time.
Yeah. Like I ain't never really
but
seen them. Like,
So that's why people are always mad, and they're like, they're taking their time. What
hurry
are
up.
they doing?
Yeah.
Because they're being calm,
Yeah.
right? Because you can't let that fear factor, take over, and you have to come clear with a clear mind. They act with urgency, right?
But you're right. I hear what you're saying.
They act with
I
urgency.
ain't never seen them
They not
running
running
either.
like,
I ain't
come
never
on,
seen them
save
like.
them.
Yeah, that's true.
They act with urgency.
What's going on? Everything okay?
No, that's what you said.
Yeah,
People get mad.
you know, people always mad.
But somebody has to be calm in the situation
Seriously,
because
yeah.
if they're hype, then that intensifies
Everybody's
your.
home, yeah.
Because I remember, like, even when I had Cheyenne, as long as I was by myself and I was concentrating, I was okay. But when everybody else came in, it was like, Keone, okay? It broke my concentration. And then tears started coming down my face. I wasn't crying this whole time.
Y'all made
Yeah.
me cry.
Get out my room. You know what I mean? But yeah, so, other people, energy
Yeah.
is not destroyed, it's transferred.
It's like the mob mentality.
Right.
Whatever the mob on you on.
Right.
So how can we contact you to get more information about Water Boss LLC? Also, the hours for the pool. When can we come through?
Yeah. So the sad thing is that, well, my pool is about to close. Charles Park.
When forever?
No, for the summer.
No.
Oh, don't worry. We might get it open for the fall.
Okay.
I don't know.
No,
Mike Jeffrey's watching. We
he
want the
just-
pool open for the fall. There we go.
This is how we gonna
No,
train
but-
the community.
No, because
In your building, but okay.
Thank you.
but there's some pools that
There
stay
are.
open.
So
Okay,
Northwest,
Okay.
okay, Walter Fuller, Lake Vista is gonna stay open
okay.
until October, I believe. McLean, so we have a community pool,
Okay.
right? They're doing great things down
North
there.
Shore stays open.
North Shore stays open.
McLean is where Kim at?
Campbell Park.
Campbell Park. Yep.
Mhm.
yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I know.
See, we call them by the park names. Not
Wait,
the pool
hold on.
names.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about that
Okay.
because y'all mayor still hasn't come to see me.
Okay. Mayor Welch, if you're watching, and we need you to come over to Charles Park.
We got a request.
Yeah, we need you to come to Charles
Request,
Park.
come on over.
Come
I
to the
mean,
Charles
just
Park pool.
swing
Just,
through.
just say
Pull up.
hi. I mean,
Yeah, come for one of these
Friday night done right. It's
Yeah.
gonna be pizza. We're gonna be out there deep.
Yeah, we're gonna be out there deep. We're gonna be outside. We're gonna be outside.
We're gonna be outside. No, but obviously, and I do want to try to carry things on. The reason why I created Water Boss was because the same things that I do during the summer, I want to do it all the time, and it's not
That
like
feel good.
I can necessarily stay on at the pool because there's things. Just is how
Logistic.
protocol. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So and then I want to share my talents, right?
Right.
And then I was thinking, well,
Right though.
how can I continue to do this? I don't have a pool at home, or can I go to people's houses and be able to offer the thing, because we're in Florida, right? So it's still hot,
Year round, basically.
year round, right? And so this is something that I'm passionate about. I love these kids, these babies. It's not about me, right? And my son does it now.
Okay, it's a family thing.
It is. He
Yeah.
works at
You remember the
Walmart.
last time you
that's
came
how-
in,
that's
you
how it
talked
happens.
about your son going
Yeah.
to
To the certification.
yeah, and then you was like, he gonna get it, and they had to take you stay outside, you stay outside.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But look, that's right back to the career path.
Yeah.
So give us the hours, and we got to take a break. But what's the hours over at the pool for people to come through if they want to get swim lessons learned?
12 to 4. It's
That's-
open swim for the public in all pools, and then on Fridays, from 7 to 9. But again, the regular pool hours, after the 7th, there won't be any Friday night done right. But the pool hours will change. But you could go to the city of St. Pete.org and check out in the aquatics area. To check out the new hours and the training schedules for the lifeguard classes and the training classes for the instructors, and then look on somebody's page.
Yeah, St. Pete Community Calendar,
Okay.
St. Pete
Charles Park
Community.
Neighborhood Association.
For our class that we're gonna do for the community.
Yeah, we're gonna
That's
figure it out.
Because we're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Because I'm
Absolutely.
telling you, I think it's very important because I know the community don't have these opportunities, and then oftentimes they don't even know what can be on the other side of that opportunity.
So definitely want to thank you for coming through, hanging
Thank
out with
you.
us, coming back and joining us here at the
Yes.
Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear some news from Democracy Now! And then up next, we have Miss Theresa Jones in the building, and she's going to share a whole lot of information because she is a wealth of information. 30 years with the city.
That's
and
an amount.
just being Black in America. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. Thank you to the Water Boss for coming through. You're
Thank
listening to
you.
Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on
WUJM, St. Petersburg, 9 Jams.
We'll be right back.
Prisons and to
So you
talk
guys are-
with the prison authorities, at least to see their bodies. But the prison authority have denied that they were allowed to the family member to see their body. So we're not sure if they have already executed them or not. But we are seeing more and more resistance and more revolution. So please stand in solidarity with the people of Myanmar. The coup plan in Myanmar
Days
is
as
not
they
yet
attempt to
completed,
cross the
and we are
Mediterranean
still
on boats to seek
resisting.
refuge in
We are
Europe.
still fighting.
All right. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John,
This is Kiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
and this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See that?
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool. We have special guest in the building, Miss Theresa Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
Thank
Woo
you.
woo.
Thank y'all for having me.
I gotta say this. I gotta start by saying thank you for being a consistent supporter of the work that we've been doing over the past decade, I'd say. Because since we met, like there's nothing that we asked in the name of the community that you have not supported. And I just want to publicly say thank you for that. The things that people see you do and things that people don't see that you do all the time. But that was why it was important for me also to like, let's get Miss Theresa in here, man. I mean, if it's liking the page, sharing the page, I'm on an email list where you like always putting out information.
Always.
Just
Share as you deem necessary.
share as you deem necessary.
Or appropriate.
Appropriately.
Listen, jobs, everything, information, just
All the above.
just everything.
Yes.
Check the email when it comes.
Yes, because Mr.
Or
Theresa
look at your tag. If you on Facebook, listen, and you get tagged from Miss Theresa, know that
it's real. Yeah, it's not just one of them, like a party booty shaking thing. Not that parties and booty shaking things ain't, have their place,
Right.
but it's going to be a community resource. So for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Miss Theresa Jones?
Well, I'm just Theresa. I feel like what I share is part of my earthly assignment. I'm a person that's been in the community. I moved to Florida in '76 when Jimmy Carter was president. So
Okay, okay.
a long time. A lot of people actually come up to me and say, "Didn't I go to Gibbs High School with you?" And I'm like, no.
No.
But I started working for the city in '77.
Okay.
Actually,
Wow.
my first job was with POC though.
Peninsula Opportunity Council.
As a community.
Shout out to Miss Patty and what work they doing.
Shout out to POC. They gave me my first board experience.
And that gave me my first
Yeah.
job when I came to Florida. But I started working for the city in '77, helping to relocate people out of Jamestown.
Okay.
And
How was that?
And so Miss Marie Nesbitt, I don't know if you know, Miss Marie used to be almost like the queen of Jamestown.
Right.
And then Chester James, of course, Mr. Chester James, who the Dwight Jones Center was something he advocated for.
Okay.
But anyways, I was involved in relocating people from Jamestown, and then went on to when they expanded Campbell Park along Fifth Avenue South. There were McRae's Funeral Home used to be down there.
Okay.
Bethel Community Baptist Church was on the corner of 16th and Fifth Avenue South. And this is long before there was ever a thought of a stadium.
Okay. This was when it was the gas plant neighborhood still?
Gas plant neighborhood was still there. Those big tanks that held
the
the gas
Yeah.
company were still there.
Okay.
I was involved with supervising staff that relocated folks out of the gas plant area.
Okay.
So it was no interstate.
The interstate was just starting to come through. The interstate was done by Florida Department of Transportation.
Okay.
And so, no, the interstate wasn't there yet, but it did come during the time when I was involved with the city.
Wow.
I worked for the city before there was ever Section 8. I remember when Section 8 vouchers first came, and it was to disperse poverty. It was
From being concentrated.
Right, because in any city, you could be able to go and say, "Oh, poor people lived over there."
Yeah.
Because it was the projects.
Right.
I grew up in the projects in Pennsylvania, so I know what it was like to, have all the concentration of poverty was in one area.
Right.
In an effort to try and give people decent, safe, and sanitary housing. And in fact, I thought about it before I came here this morning that my mom raised me, the oldest of 7 children, in a 2-bedroom, what we would call a 2-bedroom flat.
Okay.
A flat would be where one family lived downstairs, the other family lived upstairs, like a duplex, but you lived on top of each other.
I got you.
So when we moved into the projects, where it had 4 bedrooms, it actually was a step up.
Wow.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah.
I read that initially it was a big step up going from what it was going to some of those projects.
Yeah. Until they disinvested in the projects. And
when you don't invest in anything, I think that happened.
Yeah.
It does. And so when they came out with Section 8 vouchers in the early 80s, it was a way to disperse poverty. Actually, the relocation, the Uniform Relocation, Redevelopment and Relocation Act from HUD was an opportunity to try and provide decent, safe, and that's a term that they use a lot, decent, safe, and sanitary housing to individuals who had been living in housing that was, in many instances, dilapidated. I can remember going to visit a client in Jamestown once, and I think her name was Callie McKinney. I think it was Miss McKinney. Getting old, y'all.
Older.
But Miss McKinney, I went in and I had my little heels on. And anyways, the long and short of it, my foot went right through the floorboards in her living room.
Wow.
That's how deteriorated the house was. So the intent or the redevelopment plan was to move people into to better housing. And when they were relocated, they were provided compensation, whether they were a tenant or a property owner. Tenants would get up to $4,000 lump sum to try and help them pay their increased rent. You know, if you're going from housing that where it may be dilapidated but was affordable for you into housing that may be in better condition but costs more.
Right.
The intent from the Uniform Relocation Act was that you would pay folks the difference between what their monthly rent was where they were staying and the new monthly rent. And you would calculate that based over 4 years, thinking that in 4 years they'd be able to stabilize, the income would come up, and they'd be able to afford that new rent.
Did that ever come to fruition?
I believe it did in many instances, but that was around the same time that they came out with Section 8 vouchers. So those that had low incomes
could get the voucher.
Could get the vouchers to help subsidize their rent.
And so when you said relocating people from Jamestown, because that's and really gas plant district, I guess the you hear about the stories that I've heard the stories about how people were tricked into leaving and how they were talked out of their properties. What was your experience as somebody who was dealing with clients who were they like kicking and screaming leaving, or were they happy to be moving? Like, what was that experience like?
I think that the older people, well, I don't think anyone was tricked. Let me start by saying that. I think that we had staff, including myself, that were very compassionate. We understood and tried to explain to folks the differences. But I will tell you, there were some clients that I had, whether it was Jamestown, Campbell Park, or even in gas plant, that were, and don't take this the wrong way, illiterate, meaning that they could not read and write. I literally, it was the first time, and I moved from Pennsylvania, so I had not experienced folks that had to make an X for their signature. So I believe that in some instances, folks didn't necessarily, particularly the older individuals, didn't particularly understand totally as much as we may have tried to explain and be compassionate and try and be where we would try and make it as understandable as possible.
Right.
I think that sometimes the families didn't necessarily help facilitate the process. I don't think anybody was left kicking and screaming. Those that didn't refuse, particularly homeowners, they did not want to sell, they could go through what's known as an eminent domain process. So where they would go through that, say, no, I don't want the amount that you're offering. I don't think it's fair, whatever. If they engage an attorney and they ultimately won, the attorney's fees and all that would be paid for them. That was based on the rules at the time. The attorneys had to be paid to represent. In most cases, when they went through eminent domain, they got more money. So I don't necessarily agree that people went kicking and screaming. I will say this, that even though the community was not in the best condition in terms of they had to declare it a slum and blight under the federal rules.
So the quality of the housing would So I got what you're saying. They declared it an area that was blighted. To
get the federal funds to help with the reload, because the funding that was provided, this $4,000 for tenants, or the price of the homes for
owners,
the owners, if they had homes free and clear, and then they moved into a new home that had a mortgage, they would get also additional dollars to help them pay that mortgage. In my experience, it was in most instances a better thing for folks in terms of housing, but the community, the sense of community was disruptive. Some people, they may not have the best housing, but they had family and friends that they were used to being around, and it was in some few instances it would be sad that people would get the money, and within a matter of a year or so, some of them would pass on, and it's not a lot, but a few. I think it was somewhat due to a broken heart, and the lack of sense of community.
I've heard that before. I heard that it was actually a gentleman who was on a show here, and he talked about how his grandmother, like after when they left, shortly after she left gas plant, and in her new place, she ended up passing away. And they think that it was because of that loss of community, the social, component.
Aspect.
But it just made me think about it, because I read the reports and I saw like Laurel Park. I saw the study that Bill Young had, commissioned. And when it talks about the condition of the properties, we romanticize about the community. And I look at the reports, but the reports don't necessarily talk about the community and the social aspect. It just talks about the properties themselves, the buildings.
They only talk about one side of that pancake.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I will tell you, when I first started working for the city, my office was in what was then the MSC building. Now it's the health department on 9th Street. North.
Okay, yeah.
And so Jamestown, as I mentioned, my first
right
job
across the
in
street.
Jamestown.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to drive initially when I first came here. 23 years old. That's when I first learned how to drive.
Okay.
Anyways, I used to walk out into my target area, if you will.
Right.
So by walking, I got to know the clients pretty good,
Right.
because it wasn't, here comes the like when codes show up, here come the city.
Yeah.
Whatever. So by walking, I got to know people pretty intimately. They knew me, and I think they trusted me, and it was my intent never to do anything to harm folks, but to try and thoroughly explain to the process, because it was a process. You had a relocation officer that would be assigned to help you try and identify new housing, and to try, and that back then we would transport people. Once I did learn how to drive, I had a city vehicle. I could take them out to look. And
so like you were like a realtor almost, then, like kind of taking them to find places and to
right.
Even
to the extent that some people that we would, you heard me mention the amount of money we pay tenants. That would be a lump sum check.
Okay.
And in some instances,
$4,000 in the 70s and 80s. That hit different. Yeah.
And a lot of some people didn't have banking accounts, had never been to the bank. They was used to, buying stuff on the books at the meat market, grocery store, and that kind of stuff. So we would take them in some instances to the bank to try and walk them through the process of setting up a bank account, because you didn't want to walk around with $4,000 in your pocket. Although some people would want to do that.
Yeah, they like don't.
But that was balling. $4,000 right then.
Yeah, we got a
CPI. And these are some people that's used to saving their money in a shoebox, and I'm not belittling it, but
but that's just the way you do it.
The way it really was, and so, and there were all kinds of. It wasn't just the housing; it was businesses that were there. It was either heard me mention about the meat markets, and although I will tell you, down in Gas Plant, I remember Cat's Market that was run by this very nice Jewish man, but he was one of those that they had a great meat market, and he let people buy stuff on the books, and, and that kind of thing. So it was an interesting start of my career. I've done a lot of different things with the city after being a relocation officer. There was a time I was responsible for recruiting African Americans and women to be police officers and firefighters, and me and my.
So what was the department that was under?
And it was in human resources.
Okay, gotcha.
What was that position called?
Oh man,
Do they
still
have it?
I was administrative services officer.
Okay.
And we used to recruit because then we were under a consent decree because of the Courageous 12. Had filed their lawsuit, and it had been demonstrated that there had been discrimination in the police department, and as well as in hiring practices by the city. And so there was a specific division that was set up to do recruitment, and we had emphasis on African Americans and women and other minorities. And we would actually go out to like BCC and other colleges to try and recruit individuals.
That's what's up.
I often brag about Luke Williams being one of my star recruits.
Oh yeah. He's chief of the schools, right? Chief of police of the schools.
So Luke, and then his sister Jeanette Williams Bright, who's now retired.
That's what's up.
Renee, she was also initially a police officer. Then she became a victims assistance specialist in the police department.
You were also like
Kendra, good morning.
You was also like a minority something.
That's like when you sing the song and you don't know the words to
something. Yeah, that's it.
be the MBE
Okay,
coordinator,
yeah.
Minority Business Enterprise coordinator.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And for recruit actually to try and make sure that minorities and women had got opportunities.
You had a
to
newspaper
visit with the
article or
city.
something.
What was the timeline on this? So getting here in the 70s, started with them 77.
Then I did police recruitment,
Okay.
etc. Like in the early 80s.
Okay, gotcha.
Then in 85, I became the MBE coordinator.
Okay.
Did that for
Minority Business Enterprise, huh?
Yeah, and we certified minority businesses. We recruited them to do business with the city. We facilitated setting goals.
Good stuff.
We were involved with when they built the Tropicana Field.
Okay.
At one point, my little name was even on the wall over there as part of the team that helped to build Tropicana Field.
Oh wow. Wow.
I remember distinctly when Laurel Park was actually purchased and closed, and it was. I remember those pink. They were pink buildings. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was they were not public housing, aka projects.
Yeah, projects. Yeah.
They weren't in the best condition, and they were actually purchased to build the parking lot, not to build the stadium. You know where Lot 4 is, where they have this Saturday morning shop.
Yep.
Laura Park was over in that area, well as where a lot of
like where the overpass is. I remember
16th Street.
Yeah,
you know, is where Laura Park was. And then from being the MBE coordinator, we had some success with that program. I will tell you, it was an interesting time because MBE programs across the state were in place, and I oftentimes was the only woman and person of color in what I used to call a smoke-filled room. Because there was a time when you were allowed to smoke in city buildings. Yeah,
and so the room was literally full of smoke.
I remember being in a board, conference room, and there were ashtrays down the middle of the table. So I'm not just making that up.
Yeah, there was rooms that was filled.
But it
with
was,
smoke
it was a pretty interesting time because, as an advocate for civil rights and equal opportunity and that kind of stuff, you're not always accepted, and sometimes you have to be pretty assertive.
Yeah.
And you can take on this persona in other people's perception of being the angry black woman, so those were some times that that I had to be pretty assertive, and I was thankful that I had leadership like Don McRae, who was our deputy city manager, because I worked at the city before we had a strong mayor form of government.
Okay.
We used to have a city manager.
So that's like 91, 92.
Changed when
Kersinger.
No, what was it, Kersinger?
It was right around the time of Kersinger, because they were trying to tie it to his election, and they got the strong mayor, but he didn't win.
There was some,
okay.
And it's interesting you mentioned that because Kersinger was fired by Don McRae when Don McRae was the
city manager.
No, see, he was. I think he was acting at the time, and I might be wrong on that, but he was in the city management position.
Yeah,
and folks were so upset in this city that they literally, and I ain't talking
upset with Kersinger being fired.
Yes,
they shouldn't have hired him.
Wait, that some folks literally walked out because Don McRae is part of the McRae family who owns funeral homes.
Yep.
They literally marched down Central Avenue with a coffin with McRae's name on it.
Are you serious?
They was upset that he got.
Oh, I know where I'm at.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, we are. We know it gets shady in the Sunshine City, right?
So then we got the strong mayor form of government. David Fisher was our first.
When did the MBE program end? Because I know they had an issue where they're trying to get more black procurement right now.
Right. So the MBE program with race conscious policies ended, I believe, was early or late 1990s.
Okay.
Because there was some court cases that came out. Croson versus this Richmond was one of the primary cases. That was a J.A. Croson was a white-owned company, general contractor, who sued the city of Richmond, Virginia, because of the MBE policies that permeated across the country. And many of us did disparity studies. This disparity study that's just been completed is the third one that's been done.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
I was the
We'll get
Are
project.
you surprised?
No, because we need to get the other ones to compare.
Oh,
See what
okay.
both points at. So I'm glad we
So,
got that.
I was the project manager for the first two disparity studies.
Wow.
And the first one that was done was in response to the Crowson case. We basically had to do away with the findings from the Supreme Court were that race conscious policies without documentation to show one that you have substantial or not substantial but sufficient availability of ready, willing, and able minority companies to be able to perform those searches. You couldn't set goals for
If you ain't had people
had,
to do the job.
Before then, we had goals for any ethnic, African Americans, Hispanic, American Indians, Native Americans.
Yeah, the minority. That's the M and MBE.
And the women.
Right.
And so after that, after our first disparity study, the documentation and data showed that the only ones that were actually experiencing disparity or disparate treatment were African Americans, Hispanic, and women.
Okay.
We didn't have sufficient Native Americans, Asians, and that kind of thing. So we came back with a new policy that only looked at or set goals for African Americans, Hispanic, and women. And during that time, we were able to set aside contracts for only as long as we had at least 3 businesses that were certified and registered to do business with the city for a particular project. We could set it aside as long as we knew we could get effective competition.
Yeah. Okay.
And before that, we could do set asides before that Crowson case. Then there was another court case that came out. We did a second disparity study. I believe it was in early 2000s. And that's where we went to race neutral policies, where it was a small and disadvantaged business enterprise program.
I remember hearing about
based
that.
on
One.
the size of the company and the number of employees
disadvantage.
that they had. But in many instances, because of the size standards, most of your African American businesses still would qualify as a small and disadvantaged business enterprise.
I got you.
And then from there, I went on to be the business assistance manager, where we started the business assistance center in the back of Bethel Community Baptist
Was that
Church.
after the riots?
It was.
I remember hearing about that. Tyrone, yeah.
Tyrone
Yeah,
Lewis.
yeah.
You almost got
Trayvon.
yeah.
Because it keeps happening.
Yeah,
That's
after
the other.
Tyrone Lewis was killed down there on 16th and 18th
Mhm.
Avenue. We had an African American gentleman, Joe Johnson, who was the economic development director at the time. He's a native from St. Pete, had moved to Atlanta and been there economic development person for like 20 some years, and then he came back to St. Petersburg. But Joe was very staunch in the need to develop a program or to try and grow the capacity of businesses, particularly African American businesses. So that's when we negotiated and got an agreement to lease the back portion of what was then Bethel Community Baptist Church.
I remember.
Who had been moved during my relocation days from 16th and 5th Avenue down to 1045 16th Street.
Okay, so that building was a relatively new building because
that was built after we relocated the church from down there on 16th and 5th.
I didn't know that. I always thought that building was there, and you know the history of like Bethel Heights and
Bethel Heights was built when Bethel Community Baptist was on 16th and 5th.
Okay, gotcha.
When Dr. Enoch Davis was the pastor
of
the church, and he was the pastor when they first built it at 1045.
Okay,
where Mount Zion is.
You ever met Dr. Enoch Davis?
Dr. Enoch Davis, yes, I was the relocation officer for the church, as well as Dr. Enoch Davis used to have his house, parsonage, if you will. It's right next to the church. And,
you can't hear that, but we hear it.
Yeah. So Dr. Davis, I moved him and his family. When he moved from 16th Street right next to the church, he bought a home out in Lakewood Estates.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the same thing when we expanded Campbell Park down 5th Avenue South, because the highway was coming through. I relocated Miss May McRae, and the funeral home, McRae Funeral Home, used to be on 5th Avenue, and then it moved down to 9th Street, where it is now, 19th or 20th.
Yeah. That's the McRae that I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember I don't really remember a lot about the gas plant district because I was
Yeah.
kind of in and out between here and like Leesburg and all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all was real young then, man.
Yeah.
I was still like looking over just looking at the car window like this, like where we at.
Yeah.
Telling my daddy he ain't know nothing about the Deuces. I remember riding with him. I really did. I told my dad, you don't know nothing about the Deuces, pops.
Oh,
And-
no.
and-
And he was really looking at you.
Yeah, he
You
said-
don't know nothing about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
What?
because
Yeah.
I can remember being involved with when they did things. They did some redevelopment down on the Deuces. Greens Bakery used to be
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
In the back
Snow
of where it's now
Peak,
the Manhattan Casino, Snow Peak.
Oh, that's where Greens Bakery used to be at?
Yeah, right there. Right in the front.
Let's bring them back.
It was the
Yeah.
right
And,
Snow Peak was on one side, on this side of the
across the
street,
street.
and then Green's Bakery was on the other side.
Geach's Barbecue was.
You
still
ain't that
there.
old, much older than me.
What this is the thing is, so this is
So how
only,
you know that?
only reason why I know this for sure. One, Miss Green, she
Miss
stayed across.
Bernice.
She stayed across the street from us. So
Okay. You was
and her-
connected.
and my grandma and her were best friends. So Miss
Okay.
Bernice and my grandma was best friends all my life. And then Snow Peters, our people, you know what I mean? That was my Uncle Bobby's and all that. So this is why I know that.
Yeah, you in like
Yeah,
you
that's
in,
the only
connected. My bad.
That's the only reason why.
My
Not
bad,
that-
youngin.
And, it was Sanchez's funeral home was down there on across from where Toriano knows are now on where
Okay,
the vacant
yeah.
lot is at. That used to be
Okay.
Sanchez's
It's
Okay.
a park
funeral
now.
home.
It's a park.
Or where they making it a park. It's like got big gazebos. We need that in Charles Park.
Okay, there you have it. And just thinking like fast forward, and so this was like kind of after the riots, and
And they started the business center.
started the
Now
business.
it's downtown known as the Greenhouse, but it started out on 16th Street South.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. So you don't move too fast. So after
I need to start writing this stuff down.
I started taking some notes too. I swear I started taking notes because this is real history.
That's true.
But okay, so after the riots, they started a business center on 16th Street. Where was that?
It was at the church.
It's in the back of what's now Greater Mount AME. Greater
Yeah,
Mount Zion.
AME.
Yeah.
In the back.
Mm.
It used to be Bethel Community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when that was
And we-
happening because
and
the
we had
African American Leadership Coalition
We
used
did a
to
whole
meet
lot
there.
of stuff back
Yeah.
there. We that was around the same time that they were doing a Hope 6 project over in
Jordan Park.
Jordan Park, and we did training for the tennis because part of the Hope 6 guidelines is a Section 3 provision
Okay.
that basically talks about helping tenants to become self-sufficient in
Mhm.
terms of running businesses and possibly being able to do business back with the housing authority.
Wow.
And so and during that time, some of us, we took a bunch of the tenants, Miss Fletcher, what is her name?
Dolores.
Miss
Dolores.
Fletcher.
Yeah.
We took her and a bunch of other tenants on a bus up to Jacksonville because they had already done their Hope 6 project.
Okay.
And when we went up there, we were able to see where they had not only apartments like the Jordan Park,
Mm-hmm.
but they had it surrounded by single family homes. So it was an opportunity for tenants to become homeowners.
Okay.
We also saw one of the apartments had been converted into a museum, African American museum.
Ah.
And that's
sound
where we
familiar.
got the idea for what's now the Carter Woodson Museum.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Which used to be the rental office for the Jordan Park.
Right. Right.
But that's where that concept came from. The tenants wanted to do a African American museum because they sent it where one of the apartments in Jacksonville had been converted
Okay.
into an apartment.
And that was also with that design. The way they designed it was like incorporating it into the neighborhood and not like these barricades and all of that. I remember just conversations about how they redesigned to open it up and actually have streets that go through the complex.
Right.
Because before it was like that box and you just like you had to go through it or you had to go around it.
Right.
It wasn't like connected to
That's
the
where the
to
Hope 6 project.
Yeah.
Oh, connected to the community.
Yeah.
With those streets through.
With the streets through and like streets that actually go all the way through
Right.
where you
Because
can
it used
drive.
to be like 9th Avenue and 12th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was there wasn't an entrance from 22nd.
No,
it's still
because the one way because the one way was back there.
Right.
I remember going through that little gate and getting up in there. Yeah. And so just really fast forward into 2022 and just you know, with the things that you've seen, you know, in the city in
Well,
30
let me
plus.
talk about handling discrimination complaints.
Oh, there we go. Let's talk about that.
Well, I just say that because I became the director after Clarence Scott.
Okay.
The Community Affairs Department, and
Okay.
that department handled discrimination
Community
complaints.
affairs.
Okay.
We had actual investigators. We were under contract with both HUD and EEOC to handle as their local affiliate to handle discrimination complaints both under the local ordinance. We used to have a local human rights ordinance.
So who would have was it like city employees that would file
It was
complaints, or
any-
just anybody in the city who felt like they
the-
were
under our local, our state, and our federal policies? It was anybody could come. An employer who had 15 or more employees
Mhm.
under the federal law, if they committed an act of discrimination for not hiring, not equal treatment, and how the employees is treated, etc., they could file a complaint. Our local ordinance actually said 5 or more employees.
okay.
So they could dual file a complaint with our office, and we would file it under the city ordinance and under the EEO guidelines.
Mm.
And they could, and that would be anyone from the community. It wasn't just city employees.
Okay, gotcha.
We also handled, because of the city employees want to file a complaint, we oftentimes yielded that or referred them to the state to file their complaint or Pinellas County, so that we wouldn't have a conflict as a city employee.
Investigating your own.
Right,
I got
exactly.
you. I got you.
So we handle discrimination in the area of housing, employment, and public accommodations. Like some of this, if you go to a store,
Mm-hmm.
etc. We actually, St. Pete had their ordinance in place before Pinellas County actually had statutes.
What's the time frame on that around?
And I handled, actually, I was a director in there in the 2000s, early
Okay.
2000s, and I served in that capacity until 2008. 2008, we had a downswing in the economy. And so the city, I mean, there was that real major downswing. And so the city took action to, one, repeal our local ordinance.
Mm.
And then,
So that's the city council.
yes.
So we look at the city council in 2008.
With the advice of the then mayor,
Okay.
What's his name? Foster?
Rick Baker.
Rick Baker in 08. Yeah, that was Baker in 08.
And so then, so half of, like 8 of my staff were going to be laid off.
You had 8 staff?
This is the discrimination processing people.
4 of them got hired by Pinellas County.
Okay.
Because the county's ordinance would cover the entire county. And that was under the, when they repealed our local ordinance, that was their thought, that there is still a county ordinance that will cover this. There's still federal laws that covers this. So
we don't have to do it.
Well, because the budgets were tight. And
Okay, I remember that.
At that time,
that was when they was cutting summer jobs and all of that stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when because the budget, they were saying that the budget was tight. And,
right, and I was thank God I was able to appeal to Congresswoman Kathy Castor, and we got a local. I don't know how you put it in the federal budget, but she got us $190,000 to continue the summer jobs program to a lesser degree than what it had been.
Right.
But anyway, so, and then from there, my staff, half of them got laid off. I got demoted, became the community affairs manager in the human resources department. And we still had this, my department had the civilian police review board responsibilities as well. That stayed on. Lindell Bright was able to stay on board, and
he's still at it too.
Yeah,
Lindell's still at it.
Then I went over there and I stayed for until 2012 when they we were still experiencing the tight budgets and stuff. And by that time, some of us had even taken pay cuts. I mean, those management positions we had to agree to a 4% pay cut and all these other things just to keep jobs. But anyways, I went and managed Jamestown for about 6 months or so, and I decided this really wasn't
property management.
Right.
Okay.
This wasn't for you.
Yeah, it wasn't the type. It wasn't my area of expertise. So there was another gentleman going to be laid off, and so I told him, he was already in the real estate department. And he kind of understood that, so I took the layoff, and I found out I was old enough and had worked long enough where I could retire.
Okay.
And that was in 2012.
I think I remember that.
And then
I remember celebrating briefly.
3 months later, they asked me would I consider coming back part time to be the in the position I'm in now. I did
Okay.
that as a placeholder for Cliff Smith. I was the manager for Veterans, Homeless, and Social Services until June of 2013, and then I was retired for 6 months or 6 years.
Okay.
And then Mayor Kreisman asked me if I would consider coming because Cliff, at this point, Cliff was ready to retire, go to retirement, and he asked me would I consider coming back as a manager for
Wow.
homeless and social services.
So you retired twice?
Let's see.
Twice or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Briefly.
Yeah.
And I did the 6 years.
Okay. Gotcha.
And in between all of that, at one point in the early 90s, I went to work for Tampa General Hospital as their MBE coordinator.
Okay.
Until my son started kindergarten.
Wow. And I just met him too. Beautiful brother.
Yeah.
Happy to finally meet him in person. And so, oh man, we're gonna have to land this plane. Time goes fast in this space when you're having fun. Mr. Edmond, you said you had a question earlier.
Man, if I remember that jump.
Let me do this. We got to do a drop. We got to just remind people that you're listening to
WUJM, St. Petersburg, 99 Jams.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
So your current position, I heard you say it, but what's like the full title?
The full title is my working title
Okay.
is Veterans, Homeless, and Social Services.
And I knew that.
Veterans, homeless, and social.
Right.
That seemed like a lot of responsibility.
That feel like 3 jobs.
I was about to say veterans,
I ain't the one that's talking,
homeless, and social services.
It feel like 3 jobs.
That seemed like a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility. Our focus primarily is only myself and one other staff member.
For all of that?
So yeah, we need more staff.
Yeah.
And so we handle.
I was about to lean in, but I ain't gonna lean in.
We need more staff.
I'll just hold that one. I'll hold that one.
We got it.
Our focus is primarily on homelessness and prevention of homelessness, and we fund a number of agencies to actually provide those services.
Okay.
We do very limited direct services
as a city,
because we fund these agencies.
Okay.
We fund St. Vincent de Paul for shelter. We also, in collaboration with Pinellas County, we through an agreement, we have what's known as a rapid rehousing program.
Okay.
That we fund annually. We have funded, and that started in 2017. Each year, the city provides about almost $500,000 to that initiative. Those folks are housed through the agreement that the county has with St. Vincent de Paul.
Okay.
We also fund Catholic Charities for the operations of Pinellas Hope. We fund just a number of different groups, Salvation Army for their shelter.
Right.
We also have very recently with ARPA funds, that's the American Rescue Plan Act dollars, taken part of those $45 million that the city was allocated. $2.5 million of it is in a contract with St. Vincent de Paul to provide scatter site emergency shelter to homeless families that are literally homeless.
Is that new? You saying that was new? Came through with the ARPA funds,
right? And that's in place until 2024. Now, I should mention that all of these services and agencies work in collaboration under the umbrella of the Homeless Continuum of Care.
Okay.
That's admitted, or basically the lead agency is the Homeless Leadership Alliance.
Okay.
So when I mention individuals or families that are literally homeless being able to be housed through the rapid rehousing program, that's through what's known as a coordinated entry list.
Okay.
You can't just call St. Vincent de Paul and say, put me in housing. I know the city didn't give y'all money for a rehousing program. That's not how it works, without getting into the weeds of it. But you have to have had an assessment done. You're placed on a list, and then they work off that list on who's referred to rapid rehousing. And it's not necessarily just that program. The county funds what's known as the Family Housing Assistance Program. That's another rapid rehousing program.
Okay. And you say rapid rehousing. So do you have to currently be out of your house in order to?
You have to be literally homeless.
Okay. Gotcha.
And again,
in order to really be a part of qualify, I guess, for that, the rehousing assistance.
And the rehousing typically involves helping the family or individual with move-in cost and temporary financial assistance for about 6 months, sometimes longer, as well as wraparound case management to try and help you become self-sufficient. Because we operate as a housing first community in Pinellas County, which means that most of the providers don't have any stipulation, even for rapid housing, that you be clean and sober, that you have existing current income, or if you have income, that it be sufficient to help you pay your rent, or that your children be already enrolled in school. We try and help people and connect with them where they are.
Okay. Yeah, because that sounds like a lot.
People don't have it all together.
Yeah.
If they had it all together, they might not
Be homeless. Yeah.
But I will tell you, there are working homeless.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are individuals who work every day. You'd be surprised at some of them, but because they've had either a criminal background or they've had evictions in their past.
I see you. He ready to raise his hand.
That make, because right now, or landlords now, even with the Tenants Bill of Rights that the city passed through the advocacy from former council member Amy Foster, landlords are getting around this, the source of income, which is a Section 8 voucher.
Right.
Now they want 3 times. You got to make 3 times the rent and your income. And if you had 3 times the rent, 3 times anyway, you wouldn't have a housing choice voucher.
Right.
So
if you could really afford that property,
so
then
those
you
are
wouldn't
some of the challenges that are happening out there. So that's pretty much what, and so Helen and I, we basically contract with these agencies. When I leave here, I'll be going to look at grant applications. We have a committee, the Social Services Allocation Committee, that actually makes recommendations to City Council on the grants, and Council then approves how much the grants. Those grants could be between $10,000 and $50,000. Now, in some instances, though, we have direct contracts with agencies like St. Vincent de Paul, where we fund them about $148,000 annually for this shelter. Pinellas Hope with the Catholic Charities, we fund them $150,000 for this shelter. We have a memorandum of understanding with the Sheriff's Office for Safe Harbor, which is out next to the
Pinellas County Jail.
We fund them $150,000 for that.
Okay.
So and Helen, for the most part, she's a social services specialist, but for the most part, she's a contract compliance officer, where she's having to process the payments for these agencies and make sure that they're providing reports on their outcomes and things of that nature. But I'm getting ready to hire, just advertise for a street homeless outreach worker.
Okay.
To work.
Look, got your antennas up.
And so I've got to go and review those applications. The closing date was the 8th. I got about 113 applications from people that are interested in. And so that person will be out on the street and working with our homeless who are street homeless.
Okay.
Trying to connect them to shelter, trying to connect them to resources, etc. And hopefully that person will have a social service background, will know how to communicate effectively and empathetically with those who may be living on our streets. I'm looking forward to having that third position on board.
Thank you. And we gotta make room for Sister Hughes. It's just so much more that I want to say, and I know that you want to say more too, Mr. Edmond, but we don't have the time today. So what we do is we just have you come back. How about that? we get you to come back, and because I want to talk about some of your thoughts on just where the city is right now.
You got more to say. We gotta go.
Yeah. We do gotta go.
Say your more.
No, but I gotta
Everybody
close
got
it.
more questions, but
Look, I'm coming to the landing. It's the landing right now. We ain't finna just drop the plane and just put it on the runway.
That's how I feel.
No, but we do want to let you know that we appreciate you. We want to bring you back and talk about some of the other things that you do in your department and the work that you do. But definitely appreciate you for all that you do. We got some announcements. We're gonna post these on the website as well. The State of Black Mental Health. Towards liberation and living well. That's actually on Thursday. We got the Saturday morning shop back to school giveaway is August the 6th. Backpack giveaway at Tropicana Field. Also, the second annual field day and back to school event is being hosted by Story 727. That's going to be at Lake Vista on August the 7th at 3 p.m. And then there's a youth talent show. The youth talent show is Saturday, July 30th, from 6 to 9 at Enoch Davis Center. All of these things will be posted on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page, as well as the St. Pete community calendar. So y'all make sure that y'all check for it. And again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Ed, man.
And we out. Y'all take care. Believe and do good.
WUJM, St. Petersburg, 9 Jams.
Total Praise. That's right. Total Praise. Broadcasting live each and every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. Fridays, 9 to 10:30 a.m. Sundays, 7